Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? And I say today because it is Saturday at 11:48 a.m. And I slept through the entire night. I fell asleep about 12 hours ago. I just laid my head down for a little disco nap. And I woke up at 11 something this morning. I'm still kind of waking up, honestly. So, since I missed my vlog last night, I thought I would come out and do a little short vlog today. It's not going to be super long, because you know I don't like to miss a day of vlogging. Oh man. Sometimes when I sleep that much, here's my poopery. I'm not spraying it again for that. Well, maybe I should. It smells so fresh in the car then. I have that going, and then I have these cranberry air fresheners in here. I have two of them. I have one here, and I have one over there. That one, and I have that one. They smell really good. They're cranberry Febreze. I guess they're like their holiday scent or something. But anyway, whenever I sleep for a long period of time, I'm always like more tired afterwards than I was before. And so yeah. Oh man. Alex just left. He had some things he had to do, some errands he had to run. He and Sarah went over to their friend's house last night, so I was kind of like on my own. I called Tanya to see if she wanted to go and have dinner, and she had worked all day long. She was really, really tired, so she wasn't really in the mood. Alex loves this restaurant up here called Cholita, and I have never been to it. He goes up there with his girlfriends because apparently they have really good margaritas. And so whenever we're like hungry for I'm like hungry for Mexican food, he's always like, let's go to Cholita. And I'm like, there's this other place that I like, so we usually go there instead. Plus parking over here is impossible. But now I'm looking at it and I think it looks really fun. I woke up this morning with my hand hurting so bad. So anyway, I called Tanya and asked her if she wanted to, Tanya Jean, and asked her if she wanted to have dinner. And she had worked all day long and she was really tired. And she had gone home at lunch and made a minestrone soup, I think like in the crock pot, for she and Eric. So they were having that for dinner. And then she was just going to take a nap. And she was like, but call me later. Maybe we can go get a fountain pop or something. And I was like, okay. So then I was trying to get a hold of my sponsor, and I finally got a hold of her. And she was doing something with her daughter, so she couldn't go out to dinner. So I ended up just getting Burger King, which was so unhealthy. And what did I watch on TV? I watched something really random. Oh, I started watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because Alex had saved the first episode for me, because I had said that I wanted to see it. I don't really know what I think yet. It's funny because based on the ads, I really didn't think that I would like this one. Her name is Jen, but so far she's like my favorite on the show. And she reminds me a lot of a friend of ours. She looks and acts exactly like this friend of ours that we have named Heather. Anyway, what was I gonna say? By that point, it was like 10, and Tanya texted me and she was like, fountain? And I was like, sure. And I was so tired, I was gonna lay down right then. And I was like, sure. So, I went and got her. I said I don't wanna like be gone too long though, because I wanted to lay down for a little bit before I vlogged. And, I wanna see these Christmas trees over here. Well, actually, I want to see the wreaths, what the wreaths look like. roping and wreaths. So we went and got a fountain pop and we drove around for like an hour, and then I came home and that's when I laid down. And I was exhausted. I fell asleep really quick. Except that the dogs kept on like getting up and walking around the bed and getting up and walking around the bed. And then it started raining, and I think Boo Radley was a little like unnerved by the rain. He doesn't like storms. And I think it was actually kind of storming last night. Because at one point I got up and walked into the bathroom, and it was like I could hear it on the skylight. And Alex came home sometime around the time that I lay down, and he went right to bed. So anyway, and then we got up today, and he had to go run his errands, and so I was like, well, I'm gonna go vlog for a little bit, and I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee right now because I'm dying for a cup of coffee. And it is 46 degrees. It feels like it's about 20 outside, and I have Birkenstock sandals on and sweat shorts. So of course I am dressed real appropriately for this. And let's see what else. Yesterday Alex went to Costco. He and Sarah went to get some stuff to take to this little thing that they went to last night. And he bought me these. Last year, I don't know if I bought one or if I bought two. They're not like really Christmas trees. It's kind of like greenery with like a stick in it and a ribbon. It's real pretty. And like some like, you know, shiny bulbs and stuff. Costco puts together this thing for the front porch. And so he got me two of them. Thank you. For those of you, I know just said bless you. Somebody said that out there. This place I just passed, they had a couple of them too. They're like, you know, wood buckets, and then it has like greenery and all kinds of stuff. It's real pretty. So he got me two of those because he knew I wanted to like decorate the front porch for Christmas. So I got to get some sparkle lights for those. But that was really sweet of him. And then we threw the mums away. They were dying anyway. But we kept the pumpkins. Alex said, I thought we could take them to my mom's and Caroline's, and then they could have them. And they can throw them away if they want to. So, yeah, yesterday was just like real laid back. I had forgotten to post my review video from the day before. So I posted that yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I can't even really remember. I posted that yesterday. And then... oh, I got up yesterday and I went and I got an oil change finally. They were so nice. I just stayed in my car. They were like, if you could just stay in your car and we'll just, you know, and then so like they came to the window and they were like talking to me and stuff, and I go there all the time. So I know them, and they had like expanded this place and like made it really, really nice. And so I go to a Jiffy Lube. I know people say don't go to Jiffy Lube, but that's where I go, and just I've never had a problem at this place, and these guys are always really, really nice and very decent to me. And the one guy, I think they were like, this one is individually franchised owned, because this one guy came out and he's like the owner, I think, and he was like, you got a new car? And I said, I did. I said, but you haven't seen me in here for a long time, because I said I haven't seen you, and I said this place looks beautiful. And he was like, oh, thank you so much. And so there was that. And then when I left there, I came home and filmed a Peterisms video, filmed a drama video, then filmed a Peterisms video. And that was it. It was just kind of like a lazy day. Did my magic stuff for my gratitude book. Like I said, talked to my sponsor, talked to Tanya. I feel like I did something else yesterday that I'm like forgetting. But I can't remember what it was. So so I guess I didn't get out of the house till kind of late, so. I don't know. This feels like Thanksgiving in Indianapolis. Like this kind of chilly, rainy, wet. Did I say dreary already? My mom's really good friend used to live in this house right over here. And this coming there. This one right here. She had a rabbit. That's the one whose daughter, she and her daughter and my mom and I went to Beaver Island, Michigan to visit my mom's friend Diane one summer. That was her sorority sister friend. Not Susie, and somebody else. Another friend of theirs. Thanksgiving, are you guys ready for Thanksgiving? Are you doing Thanksgiving? When I was growing up, our Thanksgivings were always like so entirely small. I've never had like a big deal Thanksgiving. You know, it was like when I was growing up, it was my mom, my aunt, my uncle, and Caroline and I. That was it. Like, well, my grandma before she passed away, but it was always really, really small. I remember it was real dressy though. We always got like really dressed up. I went the other opposite way of Starbucks. But yeah, I remember it was always very dressy. And I'm like, is there a Starbucks down here? If there is, I don't know where it is. Oh, there is, but it's not drive-through. Well, that's okay. I never did stuff with my dad for Thanksgiving. I think like, well, actually, so my dad's fraternity brother lived in Sarasota, Florida. And like, I think like when my parents first got separated, like the first couple years, I think they switched like, oh, you know what? You guys are gonna laugh so hard. Okay, it's not a giraffe at the nativity scene. It looks like a giraffe in the middle of the night, but it's not a giraffe. It's actually a camel, which totally makes sense, doesn't it? That was the nativity scene. But anyway, I feel like my parents must have like switched off who had me, like for Thanksgiving and Easter. I feel like those were like interchangeable or something, depending on like my dad's schedule of like being able to travel. Because I remember going to Sarasota with him some Thanksgivings, and this is before he was with my stepmom, and I remember one specifically, and I remember there probably were more than that. So my parents just never fought over holidays and stuff like that, which I think is fantastic. You know, it was like, because a lot of it depended on like my dad and his call schedule, and if he wasn't on call, then he would want to take a trip and get out of town. So, you know, and take me. So, like, that's who I would go with for that holiday. But I remember this one Thanksgiving. I've talked about this one here before. It's like a really fond memory that I have. We actually just passed my aunt and uncle's old condo neighborhood. It's this really fond memory that I have. I went with my dad to... This is where I feel like we went down there more than... Well, we went down there a lot to visit him. Like, maybe like 2 to 3 times a year. I think like 3 times a year, because I was really good friends with his daughters, who... His one daughter was like 2 years older than me, and his other daughter was probably like 4 or 5 years older than me. And maybe the age gap was bigger than that too. The next oldest daughter, she and I were probably... Well, the oldest daughter, if I was like 8 or 9, she was probably, let's say if I was 10, she was probably 16. So let's say she was 6 years older than me. I bet it was like 3 and 6 years age difference. Like the next oldest was 3 and the oldest one than that. Because the oldest one, I don't remember like hanging out with her a whole lot. But the next oldest from me, I remember like she and I like hung out with all of like the neighborhood kids and stuff. Do you know what's so weird is I still remember their last name and stuff. Wouldn't it be so funny if one of their like out there, if I said their names and they're like, oh my God, I know them. I remember like, not like my dad's friends' kids, of course I remember them. But I mean, it was my dad's like diehard best friend his entire life. He actually passed away probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and my dad was just devastated. But these neighborhood kids, I can remember what their last name was. I don't know how I remember that. Their parents were friends with like these people and my dad as well. They all lived on this golf course in Sarasota. Well, these people did. Like our friends didn't live in a golf course, but they had a great house with a pool and stuff. Anyway, I can remember because my dad's fraternity brother friend, whose wife was a really good friend of my parents as well. So when I was growing up, like my parents, like the majority of all of their friends went to IU, Indiana University. And so like they wouldn't say like, oh, did you know, like if they said like, did you know Judy Smith? Well, they wouldn't say Judy Smith. They'd say like Judy Smith Campbell, because like Judy Smith would be her maiden name and then Campbell would be her married name, right? So they would be like, you know, if their friends were sitting around, they'd be like, oh, did you know Judy Smith Campbell at IU? And then the next follow-up question would be, what was she? And they'd say, well, she was like, you know, she was a Pi Phi, or she was a Delta, or you know, a DG or something like that. And so that was like always like the follow-up question to how they knew each other, right? So I think, I can't remember what his fraternity brother's wife was. I think maybe she was an Alpha. But anyway, she was like some big sorority at IU too. And so like I can just remember them sitting around and talking and telling stories and whatever. But her sister was a driver for the car brand Excalibur. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The Excaliburs that are like really, really like fancy and cool. And like in the movie Arthur, the original movie Arthur, like Dudley Moore drives one. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That they're long, they're really different, right? So she drove those for like celebrities and movie stars. Like that was her job. She like worked for Excalibur doing something really cool. She was like in PR or something with that. But for the Macy's Day Parade every year, which is in New York City, I wonder if they're going to have it this year. I think they're not. I think I read some article about it. But anyway, she would drive the Excalibur, and then they would have like celebrities on the back of who was in the back, right? Like there was always 2 or 3 celebrities sitting in the back of her car. So we would get up just to like, to watch her. Isn't that so funny? But anyway, and then we would go to the beach, Siesta Key in Sarasota. We would go to the beach, and we would be at the beach until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then we would come home and take naps and swim and stuff, and then we would get showered and have Thanksgiving dinner. And I remember one year, this is like the standout memory to me. I can remember like they would all be like, you know, drinking Bloody Marys and watching the Macy's Day Parade. And then we went over to, I think we had Thanksgiving we either had it at her condo or we went over to her condo for dessert later, but it was my dad's brother-in-law's mom. And I got really sick that year. And I was real young. I was like 7 or 8. That's why I think we must have gone a couple times. I mean, we went a couple times because I can remember we would go and it was like that To Kill a Mockingbird thing, you know, like with Dill, when Jim and Scout, like every summer they're just like instantly friends with him again. Like I can remember like stepping off and like at first like being real shy, and then like the next oldest sister than me, she would be like, come on, let's go, let's hang out. And we would like be down the street chomping our gum again, and there I was. It was like I was like part of the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like I can remember that when I was a little kid. But I was really sick because I can remember we went over to his mom's house. And so when they were all gonna like stay up and like, you know, sit around and have a couple drinks and talk and stuff, my dad came and put me in her bedroom and said, here, let me put on like a movie for you or whatever. And I remember we must have been there for me to watch the whole thing, because it was like probably the year that it came out or something, I don't know, or 2 years after it came out or whatever. But that movie, it came upon a midnight clear with Mickey Rooney, was playing on the TV, and I laid there in bed, and I just was real sick. I had like a fever and stuff, because I can remember my dad kept on coming in and checking on me, and I laid there in bed and I watched that whole movie. And to this day, that's like one of my favorite movies. Isn't it funny the things that you remember, like when you grow up? Like I can remember, like this is gonna sound so strange, but I can remember like getting in the car with her and going to the grocery store with her daughters, and I can like see, like sitting in the back, I can like see, she would put her purse right here, and I can see her like leg, like with these white shorts that she would wear, and she was really tan. I can just see this purse that she had like sitting here. Isn't that so weird? I can like hear her voice in my head. And I bet I haven't talked to her in, oh, I mean, it's been 40 years, I bet. Actually, I think she's remarried now, so maybe it's been longer than that. Maybe he passed away like 10 or 12 years. I think he passed away around the same time that my mom did. He would always pick us up at the airport, I remember, and it was always funny because just imagining that he was like my dad. Well, first of all, my dad was like the president of the Fiji house at IU, so they would always tell these hilarious stories. And I get to hear these stories, you know, that I didn't get to normally hear. And I can remember, oh, I totally forgot to go to Starbucks. I keep on forgetting to go to Starbucks. I obviously don't want it that bad, do I? But I can remember, I'm going to turn around so that I can go get some coffee. He would pick us up at the airport, and he always had on like shorts and like a polo shirt. He was super tan, and like they went to the beach like all the time, but he was super tan. And then I can remember, so everybody in college called my dad Monzo, and so he would be like, hey Monzo, what's up Monzo? They'd be like Peter Monn, get it, Monzo. So anyway, he would tell all these stories about my dad that were hilarious. So my dad was like the ultimate prankster in college, and I can remember when I talked to him about like hazing and stuff like that, and I was like, did you do hazing? He was like, we did hazing, but it was different back then. It wasn't like, he was like, I'm not gonna act like, is that a Starbucks? Ah! Hallelujah chorus, as my mother used to say. There is a drive-through Starbucks. Who would have known? Not me. But, now the question is, what do I want? Something is back here rolling around and it's driving me crazy. Do I want an iced coffee? Do I want my norm? Do I want my typical one? I think I do. But my dad, like one year, he got in trouble at IU because he made a hat for this guy, and the hat said, "I am a SHI Toot head." And he had to wear this paper hat around while he was walking around campus. But he said that was the kind of stuff that they did, like when they would do hazing. He was like, it wasn't like the stuff like now where you would hear, you know, like, it's so sad, isn't it, when you hear these stories of like putting somebody in the trunk of a car with a case of beer, and it's unbelievable. So anyway, they would tell all these stories. I have to tell you guys this morning, I was just like, I was totally off the subject. But I woke up and my face just looked like so horrible. It still doesn't look right because I haven't been up for even an hour yet. But I sprayed this stuff on, I don't know where I got it. Well, first I sprayed this girl in front of me. Okay, this is what I was thinking. First of all, is this woman in front of me looks like that Laura. She looks, I mean, dead exactly up on her, except for she doesn't have the glasses, of Laura Pepon from, is that her name? From Orange is the New Black. And she kind of has the same eyes. And I was like thinking how pretty her eyes look. And then I was thinking how pretty my eyes don't look this morning. But anyway, she's a dead ringer for that. You know what I'm talking about? I think she's so sexy, that actress in Orange is the New Black. So anyway, but my dad and him would like tell all these funny stories, and I can remember we would like go to the car. But this one year, I think this was for Easter that we were there. I don't feel like it was for Thanksgiving. I feel like we also went maybe just for some long weekends. But I really wanted to go to SeaWorld. Because y'all know, like, you know, I'm obsessed with like the sharks. I think that movie, actually, Jaws 3 had just come out. I would never go today after having seen that documentary, Blackfish. But I really wanted to go to SeaWorld. And my dad, the number one thing that he hates in life is standing in line. And, hold on a second.
Welcome to Starbucks. What can we get started for you?
Could I please get a venti iced blonde Americano with one Splenda, please?
Sure. Is that all for you?
That's it.
Great. That's $3.76 for you.
All right, thank you. What was I talking about? I totally just lost my track of what I was talking about. I don't know how long this line is because it like wraps around the corner. It's kind of like a surprise that we're about to find out. Do you know what's so weird? Is I just literally thought to myself, like I was thinking like how much I miss like seeing them and going there for Thanksgivings and stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I should, oh my God, like I should call my mom and be like, do you remember? Because she was friends with them too. I think they were like in my parents' wedding. Because I can remember being there and calling my mom and like his wife getting on the phone and talking to my mom and being like, Happy Thanksgiving or Happy Easter or whatever. Anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about, but that Thanksgiving was like my favorite Thanksgiving ever because I laid in bed and watched that what was I talking about? I love Christmas movies. I have all of these like different memories of like every Christmas movie that I like love. I have like a different memory for why I love it. Like I was talking to Alex last night. What was why was I talking to him about Season of Miracles? It stopped. Oh, I know what it was. We were out Season of Miracles. Alex and I was asking him like what he was watching on TV because he had been like binge watching something. And he was like, what's that show called? I am like losing my mind today. I can't think of anything. You know, the new one, Bly Manor. Which, by the way, I said, do you like it? He goes, oh, I love it. It's fantastic. I told you I knew he would love it. I thought it was so slow, but he loves it. He thinks it's fantastic. But anyway, he was like, yeah, he was like, the woman that does the narration, she was like in the original, she was like on Hillside or Hill House. Do you guys remember that show? What was that show? Hill Street Blues. Do you guys remember that show? That was such a huge show back in the day. I never watched it. But do you guys remember that? Like, that was like a big show back in the day when I was growing up. But anyway, he was like, yeah, like he was like that. The one that plays, the one narrating Bly Manor, she was like the mom in Hill House. And I was like, yeah, Carla Gugliano or whatever her name is. And he was like, huh? And I go, she was in Season of Miracles. That's like one of my favorite Christmas movies. And I have to tell you what's really funny is she was actually at, I don't know what movie she did. Oh, maybe it would have been, well, how could that possibly have been if that was just last year, unless people already knew she was going to be in it. But she was at Horror Hound Weekend. Has she been in a lot of horror movies? Because I was like, kind of like I didn't understand why she was in that movie. Or why she was there having a booth. It didn't make any sense to me. But needless to say, she did. I need to take my lid off of my thing. Oh. So yeah, he loves it. I thought it was good. I didn't think. He actually just texted me. Well, 14 minutes ago. Just tell me he's gonna go have dinner or have lunch with his friend. Wonder if I can pull around the other side. So anyway, I'm not surprised he likes it. I thought he would. Whew. I'm so thirsty for coffee. I'm so thirsty for coffee. For coffee, I am so thirsty. I just made that up. Do you think it's good? I do. Okay, so that place across the street is called Philadelphia Steak and Fries, and I've never heard of it in my entire life. I mean, I've heard of a Philly steak sandwich, is that what it's called? But I've never heard of that like place, that restaurant. It looks like a drive-through, just like an Arby's or something. Okay, so The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't know what I think of it yet. The two that are friends that supposedly look alike, I think are really fake and phony. And I think they act really, really affected. And I loved when Jen went to go visit them, and she said the one girl, I think her name was Meredith, and she imitated her, and she's like, hi, I'm Meredith. Like, and I was like, that's exactly what she's like. Turn off. That's a big turn off for me. The one that just recently got divorced, I think her name is Heather, to the billionaire Mormon. It's gonna be different because of all the religiosity. First of all, like that's gonna be a big part of the show. Is you've got Jen, who's a Muslim. You've got Mary, who's Pentecostal, and she's like a Pentecostal minister. And then you've got, who she just kind of like came in as I was watching the show. Like, I only made it halfway through the show, so I don't really know a whole lot about her. But apparently she married her step-grandfather. Jen said no way, that no matter how you look at it, that's weird. I kind of, well, so then there's the one that's Jewish that moved here from Chicago. I think her name is Lisa. I like her, kind of. How are you?
So good. How are you?
Good.
Give us just 1 second.
Okay. So I like her. She seems fine. Alex just sent me the menu to this place that he's at, and he was like, do you want me to bring you anything? And I'm like, no, I'm good. He always goes to all these fun places for... Oh, they do have a good breakfast, though. If I was there, I would get the bourbon French toast. Oh my god, they have a biscuits and sausage gravy. But I can't have that. Oh, they have a quiche, a spinach feta, sun-dried tomato, and you get fruit with that. Farmstead flatbread. Country fried chicken and waffle, country fried chicken and biscuit. Shrimp and get grits. Ooh. Oh, and then, oh my god, they have a house creamy tomato soup. That sounds good. Oh, they have a wedge salad. Oh my god, I love a wedge salad. I mean, I love a wedge salad like nobody's business. You have no idea. He said, okay, let me know if you change your mind. Little kisses and things. When we go places, I always get... I used to hate blue cheese dressing, and now I, like, love blue cheese. I love a wedge salad. I always like no bacon, you know, of course, but I love it when they have, like, the halved cherry tomatoes. Oh, my God, I love that so much. There's this place by our house that we go to. It's called District Tap, and they have... thank you so much. Appreciate it. And, they make the best wedge ever. This Laura Pep-on girl, she parked right next over there. I don't know why, but maybe she was waiting for me because she's like, oh my god, that's world famous Peter Monn. Doubtful. Put it in my Christmas cup. So did you guys know that they released a red matte? You know my black matte coffee cup? Did you guys know that they released a red matte coffee mug like that? Yeah, limited edition. None of my Starbucks got them, I asked them. So, I'm gonna have to purchase one for very expensive on eBay. Those are like my favorite. Like the pink one and the black one that I have, those are like my favorite. And there's a light blue too. So I might just have to gift those to myself for a little early Christmas present. And get those on the Etsy today. Let's see how this coffee is. Whew, strong. But good. Oh, this is Trader's Mill. My mom used to come over here and watch movies. Where'd she see movies? Oh, at that AMC, I bet. And there was a Michael's. I drove through here one night because there's that Books A Million overstock sale they're having right now. What's down over here? I want to see what's over here in this pretty little mall. Oh, they have a Bed Bath & Beyond. I wonder if their Bed Bath & Beyond is going out of business. We should go look, shouldn't we? Well, this is a cute little mall. I feel like I drove through here before. Did I drive through here in a vlog? I feel like I did, maybe. The shops at Trader's Point. The shops at Trader's Point. That makes it sound like so fancy, doesn't it? Okay, this is real sad. Bed Bath & Beyond. This one says store closing, too. So apparently their store is closing too. Every place is closing. Do any of you have the new iPhone? I want the new iPhone. We do this like phone plan where you pay off your phone a little bit by month, and we literally last month just paid off our phones. Old Navy is 40% off everything. Bed Bath & Beyond, store closing sale, everything 40 to 60%. When I was in there, it was 25. And it says, nothing held back, everything must go. This location only, store closing. This location only, well, hell's bells. They're all closing. Dick's Sporting Goods, is it going out of business too? No, but they have real limited hours. I haven't been in a Dick's Sporting Goods in forever. And then here we are at the interstate. My husband has no clue how close I am to him. I could just hop in there for brunch with them if I wasn't wearing sweat shorts and this hot t-shirt that... So I did go to 2 different Starbucks locations last night, looking for, because somebody commented on it, looking for this matte red coffee mug that now I'm bitter that I don't have and I want it. I'm like Veruca Salt. I want it now. I want it now. I don't remember the rest of that song. Do you guys remember the rest of that song? That was on TV last night, actually. The original with Gene Wilder. So yeah, I don't really know what to think of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City yet. I don't feel like I guess there's 2 episodes. I need to watch a second one. So let me throw something out there at you guys and see what you think. You guys are gonna be like, oh Lord, here's another idea of Peter's. He needs to have 15 projects going at any given time. No, this is serious though, because I'm okay. She's looking at me getting all upset. I'm like, it's not my way to go. I'm trying to be a safe driver. Anyway, sorry that you don't want to be a safe driver. Oh my God, there's a Noodles and Company. I love Noodles and Company so much. But anyway, right next to, oh my God, there's a Yachts. I love Yachts so much. I might have Yachts for dinner tonight. But anyway, here we're going to do the turnaround where I always do the turnaround right over here. And, what was I going to say? Okay, so Tanya Jean and I have talked about doing a podcast where it would be once a week and it would be all just us dishing the Real Housewives, all of them. What do you think? But then I would have to keep up with watching all the Housewives. Tanya Jean said she would do it if she didn't have to show her face. But then Mel and I are also starting a true crime podcast at some point. We need to talk more about that and figure out how we want to do it. Because that's been like on the back burner for like a year now. And Mel and I really need to put that together. So Tanya and I are thinking about doing this podcast. What do you think? Would you watch it? Would you like it? Would you watch it? Would you listen to it? She said she says, I'll do it if I can just do my voice. I don't. She keeps on being the one to push the idea. She wants to do it so bad. I'm like, okay. So we may do that. Wouldn't that be fun? We'd have like those 2 microphones. Somebody texted me? No. But my iTunes is playing right now. From the Peanuts, it's the Vince Guaraldo Trio doing Green Sleeves. What are you guys doing this weekend? Are you putting up your Christmas tree if you celebrate Christmas? Are you getting decorated? Are you doing anything fun? We don't really have any plans this weekend. Well, oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys. So, Yesterday, I finished the J.C. Dugard book. I guess it's J.C. I thought it was J.C. Dugard. I guess it's J.C. She pronounces her name Dugard in the book. So, because she narrates the book. A lot of people had a problem with the narration of it. Actually, Mel and I were texting about it yesterday. I didn't really have a problem with the narration. I mean, she narrated her own book, and it was like within a year of, I don't know. I just didn't have that big of a problem. I didn't notice it until other people were talking about like how staccato the sentences were real short. I mean, they were. I mean, but it was. I mean, the girl's got a 5th grade education. You know, like, I mean, she's not the most masterful storyteller in the world. Okay, I grant her that. But like, it didn't really bother me, honestly. But I have to say, after I started reading the comments about it, then I did notice it a little bit. But I have to tell you, I was absolutely bawling at the end of it. I was bawling. And from the point that she gets found, it's just her and the protection of her daughters and everything. But from the point that she gets found to the point that the book ends, there was like a lot that I cried about. I just thought it was so good. I actually bought the second one, which is the extra credit book. I bought it last night, but I haven't started listening to it because I started listening to the 8th book in the Misfortune series, which is called Fortune Hunters. And I started listening to that last night. But can I just tell you, yesterday, with finishing the J.C. Dugard book, A Stolen Life, I finished my 69th book for the year. And with finishing my 69th book for the year, I was so excited when I saw Tanya last night. Because Tanya and I ended up getting a fountain pop. So anyway, when I saw Tanya, I was so excited. I was like, Tanya, she was like, what? And I go, I finished my 69th book for the year. She goes, oh my God, that's great. Tanya's probably read 300 books this year. She goes, and I said, do you know what that means? And she goes, what? And I said, I've read more books this year than I've read in the last like 6 or 7 years. I was so excited. Get it, get it, get it. Right there, 1-800-CALL-KEN. Injured, wrongful death. Call Ken Nunn. Why not? Those ads have been around forever. This coffee is like really strong. All these little houses over here are now businesses. And it makes you wonder, like, what they were like when they were just houses. Little houses. You know? Open. Doctor on duty. I still haven't called the chimney guy, which I really didn't want to put up the Christmas tree until I called the chimney guy because I didn't want to have to move the Christmas tree, which maybe I don't have to, I don't know. But I put it up on like the area around our fireplace. So it's just this little itty bitty Christmas tree. It's just this little old itty bitty Christmas tree. And so I meant to call the fire guy, and I forgot to do that. Tanya said that she called him. Well, I'm going to call this different one. But anyway, she called somebody. I'm going to call somebody until I get a hold of somebody to come quick is what I'm going to do. Because my lazy butt has put it off for so long. But she said she could. This was like 3 weeks ago. And she said she couldn't get somebody to come out there till like the 30th. Do you remember I said that? So I know I said that on here. So anyway, there's Sharilla's. You can go into Sharilla's and get your fancy dancy things. But why would you when you can use Peter's code Peter for 50% off all of your sensual delightments at adamandeve.com. Hassle-free, free shipping and handling in the US and Canada. Why wouldn't you use that? So what was I saying? I need to get focused. Can't think straight today. Look at that little Bath and Body Works But I bet they have candles and stuff in there. Oh, that would be a good one. I could just stop in there and get some candles. I actually got all these coupons for it. Does anybody, like, there's no Black Friday shopping this year or anything, is there? We never, like, we always go to Edinburgh Outlet Mall anyway, which is great because it's all outside. And so you can literally go in a store and there's, like, not a lot of people in there and you just go in and go out. Like, it's great. Like, that would be great for this year. Alex's mom said something. I had just assumed we weren't doing it this year, you know? Because everywhere I went, it said that they were closed on Thanksgiving and that they were doing Black Friday differently because they were afraid of the rushes and stuff like that, which I totally think makes sense. But then Alex's mom was like, well, Edinburgh Outlet Mall is open on Black Friday. And I'm like, Thanksgiving night? Because that's when we go. We go Thanksgiving night. Like, late at night. I don't want to go on, like, Black Friday shopping day, like, when it's way busy. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I mean, I would have to be, like, really convinced, and it would have to be not busy at all. But I was thinking about that because I would kind of like to go down to Edinburgh Outlet Mall because, okay, don't come for me, but I'm getting a pair of Crocs. I'm getting a pair of those Crocs that have fur in them to take the dogs outside, or the cotton in them, whatever, you know, to take the dogs outside in the wintertime. Plus, I think Crocs there's something kind of cute about them. I've wanted a pair of them for like 2 years, and I'm getting a pair. I'm just finally going to just bite the bullet and get a pair. And then I want to get a bunch of candles because they have a Bath & Body Works down there. That's like a big sized one. And I have coupons to use. And I also want to go to the Ralph Lauren store down there. I think that's it. I'm not buying cologne anymore unless it's... I decided that this last year, like, I end up buying these colognes that I don't even really like. And the reality is, like, for a cologne, like, I love Chanel Blue, so I'll continue to wear that because that's like a daily cologne for me to wear, but I can make a bottle of that last like a really long time. But here's the thing, like, a Chanel Blue, like, you would have to squirt a little bit more on than like Creed. Like with Creed, Ventus that I love, that's so expensive, you don't need to spray a lot on. It is such a strong cologne perfume that, like, it is... because it's so finely made that you don't have to spray a lot of it on, if that makes sense, right? So, like, you don't have to use a lot of it. So I can make a bottle last a lot longer. So I decided this year, because cologne is one thing that I do spend money on, because first of all, as being a person that's heavier, it's not like I can go and buy clothes all the time that are super cute. So I'm like, well, shoes and cologne. Those are the two things I can spend money on that I enjoy, right? So I really, really like Creed Aventus. So I found that I have to buy a bottle about every 6 months or more. So that, and then Chanel Blue, because I wear that every day, and then Jo Malone 154. And other than those 3 colognes, I don't think I'm purchasing cologne again. Like, unless I would get really turned on to something else that I found, like, and it would have to be something like a Tom Ford or something like that I really wanted to kind of make an investment in. I would do it in like a Bond number 9, like Bleecker Street. Like, I love Bleecker Street by Bond, but it's another really expensive cologne. I actually thought about getting Alex that for Christmas. I think he smells sexier though when he's like in woodsier colognes. He wears Burberry London. What did he have on the other day? I said, you smell so good. What is that? And he smells really good in Angel for Men. And the Dior Sauvage that Frank sent us, like, we still have like a half a bottle of that, and Alex wears it like almost every day. It smells good on me, but it smells really good on Alex. And so I was just like, you can use that bottle, because he doesn't have that much cologne. But I want to buy him a nice cologne, I think, for Christmas. Did I tell you all I figured out what I'm going to buy Alex for Christmas this year? I'm so excited. But I can't tell you guys because I know how you are, and then you'll end up telling him. So, okay, listen, I'm going to get off here because my battery is at half, like, the mask thing, and I have been at, like, talking for almost an hour. So I'm gonna get off here now, and then I will do a little bit longer vlog tonight, hopefully. But this isn't bad. This is close to an hour. I thought I was gonna only do like 30 minutes or something. So anyway, I hope you guys are having I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday. I love you so much. I'm getting off here now. I'm doing a quick outro. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Whatever you do today, lead with love, like it says in the 4 agreements, but also kindness, compassion, forgiveness, understanding, tolerance if you must, and just put some goodness out there in the world. Practice also, like I always say, practice random acts of kindness, and let's just make the world a better place. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!